Hello, everybody, and welcome to a CLNS Red Sox Roundtable, joined tonight by Mike Petraglia and Nick Quaglia. It's been a week since we talked to you last opening day. The Red Sox have had a lot happen, and we will put out a series of roundtables throughout tonight and tomorrow to let you know about all of that. But let's start, guys, with probably the best, you could say it's the best and worst story of the opening week of the Red Sox season, and that's Xander Bogaerts. Opens up on an absolute tear, has the grand slam, the 6 RBI game, but then Sunday against Tampa, the ankle injury, it came out earlier today. He's going to be on the DL 10 to 14 weeks. So
Dave.
10 to 14 days.
Oh, did I say weeks?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Oh, boy, I just put a bunch. I just gave a bunch. And we're off to a great start. Just gave a bunch of Red Sox fans heart attacks. Okay, but given that it's only 10 to 14 days, that sort of puts things in perspective. It could be worse. But given that it's 10 to 14 days, Trags, what do the Red Sox need to do to survive this and keep the momentum?
Well, they essentially have to have other guys in the lineup pick up the slack, kind of like they did in the 8th inning on Sunday afternoon when they had 6 straight 2-out hits. That's what they're going to need really to pick up the slack. They need to stay aggressive with the strikes that they see and with the pictures that they see in the strike zone. Alex Barth said after the game on Sunday afternoon, we're still going to be an aggressive team. That, to me, is the way the Red Sox pick up the slack for Xander Bogaerts. Zhu Lin, obviously, we're going to see a little bit more of him. He was recalled on Monday. We saw him last year with the Red Sox and looked very impressive, actually, I thought, coming off the bench several times when Dustin Pedroia was injured and missed a good portion of the 2017 season, pretty much the last 2 months of the year. So I think what you're looking at here is, finding out Zhu Lin, is he going to be able to carry the load defensively, and can the rest of the lineup carry the load offensively? Guys like Mookie Betts and Andrew Benintendi, they have to carry the load now with Xander Bogaerts on the shelf for at least 2 weeks.
Look, it is, to me, this is a little bit scarier than I think the report is coming out and saying, because I feel like every time the Red Sox have somebody who ends up on the DL for a short stint, whether it's 10 to 14 days, 10 to 20 days, I feel like it always ends up being an extended amount of time. Last year, remember Eduardo Rodriguez, when he went down, it wasn't supposed to be for that long. Next thing you know, the guy is out for a very long extended period of time. So that's something that worries me, and especially because the injury, it could be minor. I mean, I'm no doctor. I'm a communications major from Framingham State University, but I feel like a little, even if it's a small crack in the bone, I feel like that's still going to be very painful. So it's something that worries me going forward. Even when Xander comes back, is he going to be able to play? Even if he does come back after the 10 to 14 days, is he still going to be as successful? Because last year, remember, he was hobbled by injuries. So that's something that worries me. Now, in regards to the way the team's going to react to it right now, like you said, Trags, they're going to have to pick up the slack. They've got the offensive firepower that they need to pick up the slack. Xander Bogaerts was on an unprecedented tear. He's OPS over 1,000, 368 batting average, I believe. Already 2 home runs on the year in 7 doubles, and the guys come up clutch too. But you also have a guy, JD Martinez, remember your new power bat, who, if he can find a way, this might be a blessing in disguise for him. If he can somehow step up, and Red Sox fans are already starting to overreact, I'm seeing it on Twitter, JD Martinez can show Red Sox fans that, yeah, he's worth the money, because when Xander Bogaerts went down, he stepped up. So they've got plenty of offensive firepower through the lineup. Mookie Betts is hitting well. Rafi Devers is hitting well. Hanley. If JD can step up, I think they'll be fine. Losing Xander does stink, but I think overall they've got enough to be serviceable going forward without Xander for the next 10 to 14 days.
I don't think the Red Sox would have pigeonholed themselves into saying this is going to be a short-term injury, as they made reference to on their news release on Monday afternoon. They expect this to be a 10 to 14-day issue. He should be back to baseball activity and perhaps even rejoin the team. This is not a situation where I think the Red Sox are expecting this to be long-term, several weeks or even a month or so to be out of action. And the reason I say that is they don't often come out publicly in a news release and make it official, and say something publicly and stick their neck out like that. In this case, they are. So until I know otherwise, I'm going to assume that this is a very short-term deal for Xander Bogaerts.
I hope you're right.
Well,
I
Nick,
really do.
I just want to go back to something you said earlier, because you mentioned JD Martinez, and maybe I'm being nitpicky. I have a history of doing that if you've watched these roundtables. But I don't want to say mistake, but every questionable decision the Red Sox made this offseason in a microcosm is displayed by this injury. First off, you have JD Martinez in left field, a place where nobody wants him. He seems to be the only person who wants to play there. Just completely sail a throw that put Bogaerts in the position to be injured with to begin with. And after that throw and after that play, we should not see JD Martinez in the outfield again at all. Okay, the guy's a liability out there. We know that already 9 games in. Alex Cora needs to tell him, I don't care what the contract says, you're going to DH.
That wasn't his fault, though.
That was a bad throw.
Yeah, but Xander threw it.
I was there, guys. Saw it in the press box. It was a short hop throw. It was not a great throw from JD Martinez. The problem with that is Xander tried to short hop the throw, and in making the short hop, he flipped his glove, and it actually kicked off Bogaerts' glove toward the Rays dugout. It was an accurate throw, but not a very good throw.
Look, there's a couple places you could put fault. Rafael Devers being out of position. Sorry, go ahead.
No, in terms of actually traveling the 125 feet that the ball needed to travel, it did not. That's my big concern, not the accuracy of that throw. The accuracy problem came earlier in the game when he had a chance to get Eduardo Rodriguez out of the 4th inning and sailed the throw on the potential double play ball with the runner way off second base. That was an easy line out to left field for a double play, and JD Martinez did not execute the throw there. So to your point, yes, 2 bad throws, but I had a bigger problem with the throw that sailed wide in the 4th inning than really I did with that throw later in the game on which Bogaerts got hurt.
But nonetheless, you have JD Martinez out there making the bad throw, and then Bogaerts goes on the DL, and you know who they could really use today? Devin Marrero. And where is he? In Arizona, because they just had to keep Blake Swihart on the roster. Even though they don't seem to be comfortable having him play catcher, they don't really seem to be comfortable using him anywhere but a pinch runner, although Marrero can do that. So this injury really just kind of brings to the forefront that personnel decision from Dave Dombrowski of choosing to keep Blake Swihart over Devin Marrero. With all the momentum this team has, with the way they've been playing, look, they chose to be short at one position. That was shortstop. That happened to be the position where the injury hit first. Although I don't think you can say it's a total coincidence because Bogaerts has a history of these injury problems. But I think it's fair to second-guess Dave Dombrowski and his roster construction today by not having Devin Marrero on the roster and instead Blake Swihart, who doesn't seem to have much use.
You still have Brock Holt, though.
Are you comfortable with Brock Holt being this team's shortstop for 2 weeks? Are you really comfortable with that?
I think it's serviceable. I think the guy's fine as shortstop.
The guy can't
never concern me in the infield.
Guys, what's probably going to happen is you're going to have, the guy that's been filling in at second base, Eduardo Nunez, moving over to shortstop and having Brock Holt play second base. I think you did not see that happen in Sunday's game. I understand that. But I think going forward, you'd rather probably have Nunez at shortstop than you would Brock Holt, and move Brock Holt perhaps to second base, or again, Zhu Wei Lin. It'll be interesting to see where they put him if he is your backup shortstop long-term while Bogaerts is out.
Well, we will see how the Red Sox handle the situation. Again, it looks like it's going to be a solid 2 weeks at least without Xander Bogaerts in the Red Sox lineup. This roundtable has been brought to you by Hims. Guys, did you know that it is easier to keep the hair you have than replace the hair you've lost? Thanks to science, baldness is now just an option, but you got to act quickly. Go to forhims.com. That's FORHIMS.com/reports for a $5 trial while supplies last. For more Red Sox coverage, you can follow us on Twitter at Red Sox CLNS. Check us out online at clnsmedia.com. For Nick Quaglia and Mike Petraglia, my name's Alex Barth. Thanks for watching.